Okay, the next thing is what is wave motion. So, wave motion is basically, you can say, as we have discussed earlier, what is a medium? You know it very well. What is a medium? Medium is a physical thing that connects two things, or for example, the air is a medium, the wood is a medium, or water is a medium, a liquid, a gas, or any kind of matter is basically the medium. When you put some disturbance in the medium, for example, you have this glass, and the glass is the material is basically the medium, and if I make some disturbance in it, the disturbance in the medium is creating a wave. Right now, this is a sound wave. The particles of the medium goes like vibrates like this, and it creates a wave as a result of putting some disturbance in the medium. For example, you have a bowl of water filled in it, and you put a spoon in it and shake it off. When you shakes it, then you are making disturbance in the medium, and that disturbance is producing a wave. So I think you can understand this wave. You can have this intuition to understand the wave. This is called a wave. Then there are types of waves. There are basically two major types of waves. One of them is called mechanical wave, and the second one is called electromagnetic wave. So mechanical waves are those waves which require medium for their propagation. Propagation, you should know what is a propagation first. Propagation is basically the movement of wave. Oscillation is production of wave. The making of wave is oscillation, and the movement of wave is propagation. So mechanical waves are those waves which require medium for their propagation, and electromagnetic waves are those waves which do not require any medium for their propagation. It is very simple, very easy. You can learn it by heart, or you can make flashcards for those. I told you how to make the flashcards and how to revise them over and over again. So mechanical waves, and the second one was electromagnetic wave. Mechanical waves are those waves which require medium for their propagation, and there are types of mechanical waves. There are two types of mechanical waves. One of them is called longitudinal waves, and the second one is called transverse waves. So longitudinal waves are those waves for which the oscillation and propagation, there are two things you should know: oscillation and propagation. Oscillation and propagation both are, as you know, what is oscillation? What is oscillation? Oscillation is production of wave, and propagation, this is the movement of wave. So oscillation and propagation both are parallel to each other. If they are parallel, then such type of wave is known as longitudinal waves. And if oscillation is perpendicular to the propagation, then such type of wave is called transverse waves. I think you know what is the meaning of parallel and perpendicular. If two things are never gonna meet, two lines are never gonna meet. For example, two lines are going like this, they're never gonna meet. This is parallel. And if two lines are making a 90 degrees angle, making an angle of 90 degrees with each other, then such type of lines are called perpendicular to each other. So you should know those things. So oscillation and propagation. For example, I attach a string to the wall and I move the string like this. So now this is production of wave. This hand is production of wave, and the wave goes like this, up and down, up and down. So this is the movement of wave in the string. So production and movement both are parallel, both are going like this. So such type of wave is called what I was saying. Such type of wave is called longitudinal waves. And you should know that one example for the second one, which is transverse waves. So you can remember this while having this intuition. The trans means something is going to change. When you have something being changed, it is called trans. For example, transfer from one point to another, or for example, transmute. Something is making noise and you transmute that thing, or so trans means a change, and this is a change and this is not. These are parallel, but this is perpendicular. When something is perpendicular, it is change. So when propagation and oscillation both are perpendicular to each other, then such type of waves are called transverse waves. The example is, for example, you have a ripple tank. You have a bowl filled with water, and you put something with a pen. You make disturbance in the medium, and the waves are moving like this in the water, goes like this. So this is the oscillation, and this is the propagation. So oscillation is up and down, while propagation is sidewise. So it is like this. So when two things are perpendicular to each other, these two things are oscillation and propagation. Oscillation and propagation are perpendicular to each other. So these types of waves are called transverse waves. So I think this is enough for today. You should make the flashcards for what is a wave, how many types of waves are there. There are two types of waves. You know what are those two types: electromagnetic waves and mechanical waves. Mechanical waves are those waves which require medium for their propagation, and electromagnetic does not require any medium for their propagation. So this is another flashcard. And then how many types of mechanical waves are there? There are two types of mechanical waves are there: transverse waves and longitudinal waves. What is a longitudinal wave? In which oscillation and propagation both are parallel. And what are transverse waves? In which oscillation and propagation both are perpendicular to each other. So this is all for today. Make the flashcards, revise them repeatedly, and you can easily master these topics. Thank you for now.